think when we last left off, you guys had just left that island, uh, just ahead of that island's attack, and you were discussing uh, what to do next. That you learned information that going after the rift during the day would present a much harder problem than waiting till night if you plan on going anytime soon. Uh, you also remember that you have a letter to bring to the capital, requesting reinforcements for the raid on the Sahagin that attempt to drive them out of Azure Gulf completely and retake the lizard folks' domain. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Alright. Cool. So, guys, what do you want to do today?
So we're just kind of traveling upriver at the moment.
No, you're still really close to the island that you're at, because you were we left off with you guys debating whether to ask you, Lebu, because unfortunately you as a player had to leave, so we had to end soon because of the path that they were discussing. Talking to you, Lebu, and getting in touch with Carly to do something for them. Um, and I wasn't sure how your character was going to react to that, so
Sorry about that. I think that was
no,
terrible.
that was fine. I wasn't expecting them to do that, and I'm like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, Lobo would be for it. I think he would vote for going to the capital.
All right.
What do you guys want me to say to Carly?
I don't remember now. I don't think I was there for that conversation.
I thought you were the one that actually said that in the first place, or was it Volan?
Sounds more like a bowling move.
Might have been. So you do have your options. It is currently daytime. Yeah, it is currently daytime, which means the drowned have returned to the rift, or at least according to your new passengers slash crew members. The one dwarf had mentioned that he owes one guy a lot of money, and if he shows his face in Saltmarsh, he'll be taken in for that amount of money and sold to pirates to cover the debt.
I was there for that. I remember that guy's. He's in deep. Like what did
Yeah,
he say? Like 70,000 gold or something.
something along those lines. And you discovered an interesting connection that you two have that you didn't realize when you met him.
Oh yeah. I know where his pirate ship went. Or
Well,
not
it wasn't a
ship,
pirate
but his
ship.
pirate ship.
He was yeah, he was in charge of a ship. It went down and lost all of its cargo along with its personnel. He didn't die, so the person who hired him to ship that cargo got really upset. uh, so that is another choice you guys have on the table.
I think we settled on just traveling to the capital.
Yeah, I'm down for that. If I remember correctly, ship, his sank ship is south of Mistvale anyway, which is kind of a trip.
Yes. Yeah, you have general knowledge of where that ship is currently located. So I think we have 2 votes for sailing up to the capital. What do the rest of you guys want? There's at least 3. Well, no, 2 other people here.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Dread? Can anyone else hear Dread? Or is it just...
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
Talking to me.
sorry, I thought my microphone was... going there.
My head's it's got to mute if I adjust the volume.
Hello.
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 As you're having that discussion, Cogsworth's eyes flicker again, and Cogsworth seems to come back to attention.
I miss anything interesting?
We're doing a vote
On?
whether or not we go up to the capital.
Well. Oh. Sorry, my dog came down and distracted me.
So Morley kind of looks you guys over. So, we're going up to the capital, you say?
Yeah.
Alright. I can do that. Much better than going back to Saltmarsh, yeah.
And then after that, after we do this job, maybe we'll find your ship. I mean, I'm not going down. But
What? You think you can... think you can find anything left of the sea's bounty? And he's
Pretty sure.
clearly amused at this concept. And completely disbelieving.
I mean, depending on where it is, we wouldn't need a diving bell. Knock.
But it's...
Cogsworth knocked on his head.
Yes, I see that there are 2 sea elves and, well, a mechanical thingamabobby. Well, I think you probably rust and possibly get crushed in the sea's depths, but, yeah, the sea elves might be able to find it, but, I imagine that even the 2 of you together would take a long time to get up the cargo or whatnot. I mean, it sank pretty far.
Was it on the open water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, a bit south of Mistvale.
Do you have the coordinates?
Not really. It was very stormy, and, I think we got blown off course, and then me and a couple of my mates managed to get into, lifeboats. We got blown around for a while, so trying to figure out exactly where it is, that's a bit of a harder thing. I just know it sank. It's not like it's drifting out there somewhere.
Well,
Pretty
if you
sure
had
I
an
saw
idea, you could look for it, but without that, it's a lot of sea to scope out.
What kind of idea?
I think I saw, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I saw where it dropped. I could probably put a little circle on a map, general region.
Excuse me? And he stares open-eyed at, eyes open wide at Lobu.
Yep, I'm not going there though. I absolutely will never go there. Not going there.
What?
Not my thing. But yeah, give me a map. I'll draw you a circle.
Excuse me, tentacled one. You've how do you know anything about my ship? Let alone where it is.
I do apologize. Out of character, I had to Go fix Elf's mouse real quick. The last 10 seconds, did I miss anything big,
No,
detail-wise?
they're just
Okay, thank you.
they're talking about about the sea's bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you want a circle on a map, or do you want nothing? That's what we're working with right now. I'm not telling you shit. It's traumatic. It's bad. I don't want anything to do with it.
Roll a
I want
persuasion
to know where
check.
your ship is.
Well, d- well, I suppose, I guess, and he kind of looks around. So, where's this map you have?
I'm
Talking about my maps or the naval treatise or something different?
Morley just kind of shrugs. Well, it's not like I currently have a map, and this strange looking sea elf here, he was offering to put out a marker on the map. So I assume that he has one.
not, man. But maybe we can pick one up in the capital for you.
Oh, I suppose that's all right then.
Which maps are we talking about?
Lobo is wondering if he can mark on the map a general idea of where the sea's bounty sank. So I'd figure any map would
Yep.
work as long as it included the part of the ocean that it fell in.
Well, I mean, I have maps. I don't know. Maps that we got from the pirates way back.
According to those maps, you have the coastal maps, yes, and plus that one that Libu's player recreated for me. Did a really nice extra job for me, but much better than my crappy hand drawn. Uh, none of those maps actually shows the direct location, because the one map is basically of the Azure Gulf itself, and the other maps are all up and down the coast of Meeg. This one, the location that Lebu is aware of, is somewhat south of Mistvale, which is on the very edge of the Azure Gulf map, and well outside the range of the coast.
Okay. So we'll have to get a map then.
All right. So Volan is looking towards you, Topaz, and says, "All right, sounds like we know enough. Let's set a course for the capital. Should take about 4 days, according to what Ada told us. And make sure you." And she looks at you, Topaz. Topaz, make sure you mark on that map right here, approximately where the rift is supposed to be, according to the information we got. That way we can come back and deal with it later, or send some people who are also qualified to do so. I'm sure somebody's gonna want to know about this.
Very well.
And onward on a sea journey. Now let's see.
So,
It is going to take 2 days just to get to the river from where you're at. But the river is wide enough for your ship. It's actually one of the wider rivers, and the Midris River is one of the wider rivers in the known world. So it's capable of ships like yours.
once we make this delivery to the capital, what happens after that? One moment. My friend's calling me even though he knows I have D&D.
I think think we were going to the rift after that, but it's up to you guys.
Oh yeah, we gotta find someone who can slap some tape on that sucker.
And I think that might have been the other thing that they were considering asking you to talk to Carly about. Not Carly, sorry, Claire. Ugh. I've got too many joined names. C names, that names. Of course, I didn't give Claire her name. That name. You guys named her Claire.
Apologies, I'm back.
Welcome back. So why don't you repeat your question, please, Cogsworth?
So, after we deliver this letter, what does the crew have any remaining obligations? Do we remain on alert in case the war is still ongoing?
The rift. We gotta.
The rift?
Yeah, we gotta find the. We gotta go to the rift and close it. So we gotta find someone that can close it.
I can close the little baby ones. I'm guessing this is not a little baby one.
I don't think so. Just based on how Lobo described it.
Yeah, I did check over, out of character, all of your capabilities plus the items you have, and you don't have anybody that can do more than just temporarily shut it down. And by temporarily, I mean by a day. So Volan directs Topaz to set the ship, on a course for that. I said it's 2 days journey across the Gulf to get to the river. Is there anything you guys wish to do before you hit the river for the next 2 days?
I can't think of anything.
I believe I still have some potion ingredients, so I'd like over the next couple days to crank a bunch of those out.
All right. Roll your potion check.
How many potion checks do you want me to roll, or do you want me to just lump it all together?
How much more in supplies do you have?
I think I have. Oh, I believe I have several still. I just was a little behind getting roll 20 up again. I'm just pulling up my character sheet literally right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Just got off work, learning a very outdated system for insurance, so my brain is not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. A lot of old systems.
I think it looks like I have, based off my notes, like 2 potions worth left.
Okay. So you can do like one check per day. So 2 checks till you get to the
Alright.
river.
And it's intelligence?
Yes. Use intelligence with your supplies. Anyone else have anything they wish to get done during those 2 days?
I think Loeb is just going to be fishing and trying to raise the spirits of the crew. Probably
I
by
really
Excuse me.
like rolling 7s.
Yeah. Pretty much you use up the last of your supplies, but again, only make 2 more weak healing potions.
Did we have a lead on somebody to close the rift?
We could always go back to, was it Orin? With that tower or college? They might have a lead.
And that is true. Our little dwarf friend here can't go to Saltmarsh, but probably can go to Orin. I figured that Capital would probably have someone to hire along those lines too. How far of a journey is that?
From the capital down to Orin?
No, from where we are up to the capital.
Well, 4 days from Saltmarsh. So if we're talking about you guys just finishing up with getting towards the river, that would be another 2 days up the river. Okay, so nothing interesting happens to you while you're on the Gulf, thankfully. Poor Cogsworth only generates 2 small healing potions. Uh,
I actually have a
and
question.
go ahead.
If I may, that puts my healing potions to now 3 weak ones.
Okay.
Could I attempt to consolidate 2 of them and like essentially distill them down into a normal health potion?
You can try. I'll
Like
give
a
you another.
reduction?
I'll give you another. Alchem. Wait. Is it herbal? Do you have an alchemy kit?
No, I've been making the simple stuff through herbalism kit. Will I need alchemy
You'll
to
you'll need an
properly do
alchemy
that?
kit to be able to do that. I can let you do the making the single potion with that, but if you're actually going about and distilling stuff, that's definitely the job for an alchemy kit.
Okay. All right.
Just, one is putting together poultices. The other one is, Bunsen burners and beakers and retorts and
Mhm.
yeah, stuff like that. Basically, 2 different animals here.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Same family, different species.
Sort of, yeah. Okay. Alright, I've already got
I'll
it
actually go ahead and
marked there.
hand. I want to hand one to Lobu and one to Dread.
Alright. Do you have the stats on you for them?
Mm-hmm. D4 plus 4.
Yeah, because it's not as strong as a normal healing potion.
It's basically a healing word.
Thanks, Conti.
Mm-hmm. I know you seem to have a death wish, but at least let you bring someone else back from the brink.
Yeah, I'll probably be giving this to someone else. Awesome.
Alright. So you guys have made it to the end of a month by the Keoland calendar. You just passed the full red moon. Nothing untoward seemed to have happened. You guys sailed without a problem all the way up to the river. You didn't really pass much of any ships, just the occasional occasional fishing vessel off the coast. And as you get to the river, you find a bit more not exactly traffic, but you see that there's more people here, that there's more ships as you begin to sail your way northward. You see off to the sides of your ship what looks like some decent-sized barges of various kinds, like with various decorations up on top. Like there's sails on them. Sails on them, of course, because if they're sailing up the river, it's going across against the river's flow, so they would need to ride on air currents to go in that way. Can you please be careful with the lack of muting if you're typing?
Yep.
Thank
It
you.
was short. I'm done.
Sorry, I said ADHD. I get really
Yep,
easily distracted.
I know, Grizz. I know.
Sorry, thought just broke.
The only reason I didn't use because it was that little bit of typing. I am now done typing.
Even small amounts of typing can get. Never mind. Sorry. It's one of those. It's one of those nights. just waiting till everybody's done.
Hey, Topaz,
Yes,
you good?
I'm good.
Alright, cool. So, you see various barges moving mostly along the same direction you are. Various groupings, they have different colored sails. You see one or two heading the opposite direction, because as I said, this river is actually quite wide. It's not quite as wide as the Amazon River, but it's still pretty good wide so that you can actually have some decent traffic flowing in both directions along this river. As you look down into the nearest barge, you do see that the people on the barge appear to be lizard folk in various types of garb. Looks like they are living on said barges.
Lopa's going to look around, specifically trying to see if he can see Kapesk. And maybe even just like yelling his name out.
You do see the occasional lizard folk looking towards you from the ships. That is like yelling John in a crowded room. You're going to have people looking at you.
Yeah, he's kind of making a scene about it.
You seem to be getting dirty looks from there. Like they look up just to see if they know who you are, and then kind of give you the look of somebody that, you know, this isn't funny. You don't yell a common name at us. Sort of thing. But yeah, none of them respond in the positive to your shouts.
Okay, well, if you guys see him, let me know.
Roll a persuasion check. So the nearest barge, which happens to have reddish sails, seems to move up close to your ship, and they seem to be signaling at you.
Well, I guess I'll slow down and let them pull up.
And a couple of tosses at your ship, and it looks like they've grappled onto the side and seem to be waiting expectantly.
Lopa will immediately make his way over. Okay, use that.
They're a barge, so they're like, you know, you're got several decks here, so they're like, you know, 10, 20 feet below you.
20 feet?
They're more like 15, but yeah, they're closer to the water line than you are, so they basically threw up the grappling hooks to anchor themselves to your ship so they don't drift away.
Lopa will shout down at them. He's about to misty step down, but that's probably stupid.
Are you coming down? One of them calls.
Oh, I am invited? Well then, yes, absolutely. And then he's just gonna poof and bam right in the midst of them. You're like, have you seen our friend Kapesk?
We know many named Kapesk. Which Kapesk are you looking for?
About yay tall, yay wide, a criminal.
A criminal.
They kind of look at each other.
On the run.
Criminal.
And a couple of them look at, you know, the grouping of some of them, as you say, criminal. Just a couple of them kind of like reach carefully for it looks like anything handy nearby. As the one that was speaking to you kind of withdraws slightly, their eyes narrowing a bit. We are not criminals, and if you are a criminal, you should leave now.
Oh no,
He's
no, we're
not.
fine.
He's
we're
just
good.
an idiot.
They kind
Our
of look up
friends-
at the call and like, what is that thing?
I'm a warforged. Don't worry about it. We're friendly.
And then they look back at Lebu.
I don't even really think he did anything wrong. I mean, he kind of ran into rooms that he probably shouldn't. But I think he was set up. Something about murder, something. You know, I don't super remember. I was just wondering if you saw him.
We, well, what clan? It sounds like you're describing many people named Kapesk.
Would I remember what clan he was from?
It's possible he never told you.
Seems about right. Well, sorry to waste your guys' time, I guess.
You hunting a criminal, Lobu?
Oh, I guess I've never told you about Kabask, huh? He wasn't with us very long. He got all his blood drained out of him by giant demon mosquitoes, and then the town's guard at Salt Marsh came, and he jumped off the ship and swam away.
Oh,
With no blood.
I mean, he got blood back in him. It was a while. Like he rested up, got some new blood. He was fine.
so he was a companion.
Yeah.
All right, all right. And he pulls out his journal and writes. He like says to himself, "Harboring a criminal." Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Lobo waves politely, and then Misty steps back up onto the boat.
A couple of the lizard folk look at each other when you do that, and the one calls up again, saying, "You come here to ask us questions, and yet you don't want to buy anything."
Oh, wait, you got stuff to sell?
Of course, my friend. We're traveling traders.
Any magic stuff?
Come down here, and we will see.
Oh boy. Misty steps back down.
Cogsworth.
I can only.
See if there's a rope ladder that he can throw down.
And yes, it looks like they were expecting you to throw down the warp ladder, and were actually rather confused about the constant Misty stepping back and forth, because you find one right away on the side of the ship, and you can put it right where the ship is, with the two anchors.
Okay. And then I'll very carefully and mundanely, non-magically, climb down.
And a couple of smaller lizard folk, looks like maybe children, come up to study you.
I'd be more than interested in seeing your wares, but it appears that I've gathered a small crowd.
You are quite unusual. What are you exactly?
I'm what's known as a warforged. Apparently it's been a very, very long time since anyone has seen my kind. And it's been a very long time since I've seen anyone of any kind.
Well, you are most unusual. And yes, we do have a few knickknacks that are magical.
I'd love to take a look at your wares.
I'm not sure if some of those magical items will be any use to you, my friend. And they look, they're looking Lobu up and down. But maybe you have crew that are not of your kind. As after all, I'm not used to seeing your kind on a ship. Usually they're
We're
below the
not
water.
bunch.
Yes. Then perhaps you need a ring of water walking or one of swimming.
A couple of us could probably use something like that.
Yes, such things are quite useful on the water.
Dred, do you still need water gear?
Yes, obviously. cannot swim. Don't think I can walk very well either.
Yeah, I've more or less figured out how to balance myself in the water, but it's still not ideal.
I'm good.
How much for the ring of water walking?
That should not be too much. Let's just see. That'll be. Oops, wrong die. Ugh, wrong die. Wrong die.
Womp womp.
I'll climb down. Take a look.
Oh, that'll be a mere 400 gold.
Near 400. Sounds like I'll buy that from you.
Yes, you can never go too wrong with the ring of water walking for people that are not good with swimming.
I'm guessing it functions pretty much as it says on the proverbial box. Lets you stand on the
yes.
water.
Yes, it lets you stand on the water and doesn't seem to interfere with your other magical gear. It's always quite useful, that. Some of the other
I actually have.
some of the other lizard folk are busy, pulling a few things out of boxes and barrels and setting up bits of cloth and setting out wares and sitting down cross-legged behind them.
I actually have a bit of a question.
All right.
Personally, I do not need to breathe. However, while underwater, given what it is, I can't cast my spells. Do you have anything that might be able to assist that? Perhaps a cap of water breathing?
Cap of water breathing.
You still have that in this time, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what its rarity is, because that'll determine whether or not they might have something like that.
It's either uncommon or rare.
All right.
Yeah, you have two of them, perhaps?
First off, the person who asks gets to roll me a 1d100.
Okay.
All right.
86.
Okay. Now you can roll me a 1d4. You are in luck, my friends. We have 2 left.
What's the damage, if I may ask?
I'm not sure.
That'd be 320 gold each.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, Dread. You've helped me out plenty. I'll front the cost. And I will gladly give 640 gold over. Maybe now, if Topaz dives into a horde of Sahuagin, we can save her a little more reliably.
Perhaps.
The lizard folks start mumbling to each other in Draconic. Excuse me.
In Draconic?
Yeah, they're mumbling something. It's in Draconic. Since you're leaning over the side, you can probably make out them wondering about the shark people and like how they've been spotted around the Azure Gulf more and more lately.
Well, this one did run directly into their stronghold and took care of one of their deities. Points up to Topaz.
Some of the lizard folk look up towards the side of the ship.
Zephyrus is gonna make his way down
Alright.
and start speaking to them in Draconic. The shark people, you say? Whereabouts are they on the shore they've been?
Well, we haven't left. We don't usually leave the river, but we've been hearing from various traders and suppliers at the mouth of the river about how more and more Sahagan have been seen throughout the Azure Gulf.
I see.
Used to just be. Another one speaks up. Used to just be. We'd hear stories about the pirates, about the sea princes. Of course, ever since the king put out his decree a few years back, things with the sea princes have been a bit better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've actually been dealing with this walking for some time now, apparently. Though I'm a bit of a new addition to the group like yourself.
That was all in Draconic, by the way. Do you speak Draconic?
Oh, no. Sorry, I forgot that it was in Draconic.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Um. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the info. And
Do you wish to
Sorry,
buy any fish? Another of the masks?
fish.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. He digs around in his pouch, finds that he still has no money. Yeah. I'll consider it. I'm gonna go back up to the ship, see what I got. Then he's gonna go back to the ship and never come back down.
Yeah, it's a few minutes before the one lizard folk just gives up on Zephyrus coming back.
How much for the fish?
The one that was offering the sell fish does have fish out on their blanket, so yes, they look up towards Dread and nod. Well, we have fresh fish taken and killed this morning, and some dried fish and some smoked fish. They show like different. It's let's see, the size of the fish are basically two hand lengths in terms of size. And they, they're fully intact. So it's like head and tail full on. So they say 3 copper per fish.
Okay, let's see. So I'll buy one of each. That's 3, 6, 9 copper.
Oh, thank you. May Woos bless your waters.
Sorry for the interruption. Thank you for doing business with us. And then Cogsworth
The one that
will-
seems to have been in charge just nods and waves you on as the others begin to pack up their wares to back to wherever they were stashing them before.
And then before they go ahead.
I just climb back up.
And as they're pulling off, Cogsworth will shout, "May Helm guard your travels."
So I'll walk over to Zephyrus and I say, "Which one of these fish would you like?"
Oh, I guess whatever. I'm not really an expert on fish.
And fish, I can say neither am I.
All right, I'll just take one and cook it, I guess.
Well, one is smoked already.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll just take the smoked one.
You're missing out. I cook a mean fish.
They're still salted and they're still freshly killed. So,
Let's see, Cogsworth, would you cook this one? And then give him the one that's not cooked, that's fresh.
Of course. And
I
go
will
to
eat
the
this
bucket.
in my quarters. Sorry.
Boom. Got your cooked fish. Whenever, enough time has passed that I can cook a
Yeah.
fish.
yeah, the smell of cooked fish starts to waft around the main deck.
For a robot that doesn't eat, I cook a mean fish.
Yeah, you do. Making me think of Futurama. You ever seen Futurama? Wow.
I've seen Futurama. I watched a little bit of it.
Because there's an
It was
episode.
just before my time to where I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Ah,
Yeah.
there's an episode with Bender in a cooking competition.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, Livu, yes.
Is that how you get that otherworldly flavor?
What's how Bender got the otherworldly flavor?
Again, my favorite reactions to my jokes are when I can get Dread to laugh. Just that little makes my day.
All right.
So we keep heading up the river.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do continue to see different barges. The one with the red sail that you made contact with is still fairly close to your ship. As they seem to be catching the same wind. And it seems like there's a lot of these groupings of lizard folk in various barges, each with different colors of sails with different little pictures on them. Sometimes they seem to pull together to form like a more united little ship or something like that. Maybe like a couple party boats or something.
Like they'll lash together before separating.
Yeah, like they seem to be lashed together, probably to do business or trade or something or another. And then separating off. Sometimes some slow down, others seem to go towards the shore. And as you continue to travel up the river, it's not like there are the city is all that there is on this river. No, you pass by various towns and villages and all sorts of things as you continue on northwards towards the capital. This river seems to be a heavily lived place, both around it and on it from the looks of those barges. Is there anything in particular you wish to go for in these next 2 days? Anyone?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Hey, was my mic wasn't muted when I said that, right? You guys heard me?
I didn't hear you say anything.
Damn it. Sorry. You said all right, so I thought you heard me. I was saying Cogsworth doesn't really want to do anything in particular or like keep an eye out other than the skies because he's concerned about that bird again or something like it.
The heavy traffic and everything of that nature doesn't seem to be very conducive to that sort of wildlife out here. It seems like there's enough people, enough defensive group that that you don't see anything of that nature.
Okay. So it's spooked off, so to speak. Like it would not go this way.
The bird that you spoke of, I think, is the one you killed, isn't it?
Yeah, like one of a kind or whatever, but of something like
very
it.
rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said, on a very heavily trafficked river, you're not going to see something like that.
Yeah. He's still paranoid though, just
Yeah.
because it literally dive bomb and instantly ripped the heart out of somebody.
Yep. You saw that happen. So accept your character being paranoid.
Yep. And also the character was capable of reviving him if it wasn't for the fact that his heart was removed.
Mm-hmm.
So feels like he could have done something more.
All right. 2 days. Goodbye. And you see the same thing every once in a while. There's also a little bit of rain here and there that finally cleans off what parts of the deck you hadn't gotten the blood off of earlier. And eventually, after the full 4 days of travel, you guys see your first sight of the city up over the horizon. It is quite fantastic. It started first with just more farms off to the eastern side of your ship. Just farms, people plowing, and then as you look to the north, almost directly in front of you, but in the distance, you could see towers and what looked like some old construction buildings from the old empire that used to exist here. Uh, kind of like let's see, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of a good example. Um, Going to Greece and seeing the Parthenon, or going to Rome and seeing the Colosseum. That sort of old compared to a lot of the other buildings around you. So
Like time so far away that it seems like another world.
yeah, yeah. So you see like some really old architecture, but sturdy construction.
Anything that I recognize personally?
Uh, Probably roll a history check.
Could I also like use? I think I have a background feature that applies to this.
All right.
Oh, well, actually, you know what? Never mind. It's only when I enter the ruin or dungeon.
Cogsworth just doesn't remember ever
Yep.
coming this far north before.
Okay,
Anytime,
I'll just make a history check then.
every single time I've made a history check to try to remember something from the past, nothing.
Well, I'm out of luck too.
Yeah, same problem. You can't even remember these things. But as you get past the farms off to the east, along the eastern shore, uh, the let's see, where is it? The river gets even wider, and you see a rather tall bridge and what looks like a large river island covered in buildings smack in the middle of your river. Uh, the tall bridge looks like it's just tall enough for your ship to fit underneath. It's that tall. Um, but the central large island clearly does not have any docks. But you do see evidence of high towers. You see what looks like some kind of palace in the middle, and some other harder to identify buildings. But it looks very well maintained and looks like the seat of power for an ancient empire and what's currently a modern kingdom. As the farms finish off and lead into what looks like small houses, hovels, and then breaks off into the docks. You see a lot more ships and barges on the eastern side, and it looks like this is where you'd be able to land, more or less.
Topaz, did you have any idea that there were this many people on land? Look at all of them.
They breed like rabbits. What did you expect?
Still, this is like a school of fish, or like krill in front of the whale's mouth.
Yes, except no whales to eat them.
You'd honestly be surprised. People will eke out an existence wherever they can, even where you'd think they wouldn't be able to. Though, funny enough, they'd most likely think the same of people like yourself. Think of the pressure down under the waves. That would crush any normal human or orc.
Yes, and
Then
thank
I'll make
goodness
yourself-
for that. Otherwise, they'd be infesting us down there too.
Possibly.
Definitely. Look at them all. As Lobu said, it's like rats. They just breed and pop more out and breed, and then those grow up and breed. Lifespan so short, it's no wonder. But
Yeah.
Are you?
you saying, Zephyrus? Did you get cut off?
No, I was gonna say something, but I don't know. This how many people can I see?
Lots. You see tons of ships off to the east. If you glance to the west, you see a lot nicer looking buildings, but no docks. Uh, Basically, it looks like the more affluent quarter of the city is off to the west, on the western side of the river. The eastern side, you're basically seeing endless docks right now to the east, up until the point when you hit the tall bridge that goes to the central island.
Okay, so does it look like we have to go through here to continue going to the capital, or is this the
This
capital?
is the capital.
Okay, yeah.
This grand city is most definitely the capital of Keoland,
All right, so we should probably find a place to dock
the
then.
fabled city of Madronis, which has been around for thousands of years and been through several different kingdoms, at least 2 empires.
All right, so we should find a place to dock and find the person we got to send this letter to.
Alright, there do appear to be several available berths. And Volin just kind of gestures to Topaz and says, take us into that one over there. It looks like it'll be perfect for our ship. I'll stay here and get the paperwork done while you guys go out and figure out what we're supposed to do with that letter. She just kind of grumbles a bit.
All right, let's take it over there.
And
So-
just make sure Volan's doing okay, right? Just a migraine.
Yeah, Volin's player. Yeah, she has a migraine. It's just something that happens. I've had those.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Elf gets migraines too, and
yeah.
they completely shut her down.
Yeah, those are not fun.
I just want to make sure she was okay.
Yeah, she just seemed like migraine. If
Yeah.
you've had migraine or been around someone that has migraine, you know how that goes. Yeah, migraine's not fun. So yeah, Volin is going to stay with the ship. You 5 head off.
Now, Zephyros, you might get the urge to tell random people on the street how great this sailing vessel is and our adventuring crew, but I don't think the captain likes it very much. So just keep that to a minimum.
I mean, sure. I'm just working on my novel now, so it's really just until the novel is published that I will be telling people about the ship and stuff.
I mean, but I think a really good, don't do it obviously, but like a really good sales tactic would probably to really spread it around beforehand and get people really excited about the forthcoming
What are you
novel,
gonna do?
like
Get pre-orders?
guerrilla marketing.
Oh well. I mean, yeah, it's not a non-fiction. It's purely fiction. I'm not even gonna put your real names into it unless I'm gonna credit you guys.
You witnessed them kill a god
Yeah,
less than a week ago.
yeah, it's inspiration. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to chronicle the stories of you guys. I'm here to get inspiration.
All right. I hear they get better ratings when they're based on a true story. Just saying.
Oh, but my story is.
Hey, Lobu. Lobu. Hello?
Hello.
I'll bet you a copper. He's gonna make a self-insert character.
I'll take the bet.
What was that?
The bet.
right.
Let's raise the odds. How about a gold piece? And he starts sweating lightly. He's like,
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if there's any
Make
place
a bet.
to gamble around here.
A singular gold piece on who the main protagonist is.
I mean, it'd be really dumb to bet against you, because if he's writing it, it's probably gonna be him.
It wouldn't be wise.
But so you'll give me better odds, right? Like 2-1.
Lobu,
Mm-hmm.
how many times have I saved your life?
I do not 5, 6.
There's
I'm
your
not
better
sure.
odds. Remember how many times you saved my life?
No.
Remember when I cannonballed through a ship?
No.
And then you followed me? Helped me fight off those undead?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that time.
So the way I see it, the odds are already 6-1 in your favor.
Well, I mean, if you want to call what you have life, then yes. Let's find a bar with a gambling deck.
Did someone say bar?
No,
Yes,
somebody said gambling.
they also said bar. That's the scary thing.
Gambling bar.
I don't care about the gambling.
Do we see any place nearby that's looks like a tavern? I think Lobu's pretty well convinced that any place that they go to will have some form of gambling, whether that is
In
reasonable
fact,
or
yes, you
certain.
do. As you get off the docks and see all around you the various kinds of people, humans, lizard folk, halflings, dwarves, elves. You even see the occasional goblin. A couple of them are like begging on the side of the street, but and others are just kind of like passing by. But you do see goblins.
How many goblins are there, if I may ask?
How many goblins do you see off the bat? Let's see. You see 3, kind of currently on the street nearby the docks, kind of in like a kind of shady, almost an alleyway, but kind of like a stoop. They're just kind of sitting there. One's got the hand out, looking like they're trying to beg for money, while the other 2 seem to be sharing a bottle.
I'll go to the one that's begging,
Goblin
And
just
then
kind
10
of looks
gold.
up at you.
and the fish.
That goblin's eyes just kind of drop open. You hear a bit of a smash as the bottle falls out of the hands of the other 2, and they're just kind of staring up at you. Thank you.
You need it more than me. I know times are tough, but you'll get through it.
Kind soul you are, Cogsworth.
And I know mechanically it will do nothing, but I will go ahead and cast guidance and essentially bless them. May Helm guide your travels.
You hear them whispering. Do you guys speak Goblin? Or
I speak Orcish.
or yeah, Goblin's actually Goblin is its own language. Yeah.
Yep, I know. Did we just lose someone?
Currently Dread's Discord is acting up. We're gonna wait a minute.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I have suddenly come into a I wouldn't say a fortune, but definitely a decent sum. Least I can do is see that it goes to people that need it most.
Need it.
Lobo,
I need it
Lobo,
for booze and gambling.
Lobo. I would like to point out that you can catch a frankly ridiculous amount of fish with a strategically arranged piece of rope and magic. You're fine. I also know how much money you have, because I watched Volan count it.
Maybe I owed someone some. Look, let's go to the bar.
Sure.
And the one of the three goblins that you guys, well, that Cogworth just gave money to says, you're looking for a bar?
He is.
Preferably one with gambling, if that's in the cards.
They nod and they kind of like look at each other, and the three goblins kind of stand up together and again are talking to each other in goblin speak. And then another one of them looks out at you and says, well, we know where there's a place if you want.
Lead on. You seem trustworthy. Let's follow these guys.
So they start like kind of leading you a bit around, and you find yourself like just past the docks. It seems like there's another river heading off to the east, just north of you. That the river itself, the Midras, breaks off and basically one part of it going north, another part going east, with the two sides kind of merging together to go south, back to the Gulf. And they're kind of like leading you through a section of the city in this part. That like you see various businesses, various taverns, various places to stay, but they kind of lead you through a couple of back alleys past what appears to be like either houses or some kind of business that you're unaware of, until you get to a door with an eye above it. And you can kind of make out the sounds of like, people laughing, a couple of people like, cheering, and the occasional "aw" coming from somewhere past it.
This is great. This is I know those sounds. That is the wheel and woe of Lady Luck behind those doors, gentlemen and ladies. We are about to engage in some really serious gambling.
So the door is it's one of those actually a double door, but it's made out of metal, and it's actually quite wide and a bit tall. It's at least 10 feet tall, and wide enough that you guys could probably go in 2 by 2. I heard a questioning.
What's up?
It did sound like a sound of confusion from Liam.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing. No, never mind.
Do I recognize this eye?
Roll a history check. It doesn't look familiar.
Well, onwards and upwards. And Lobo just kind of opens one of the doors and starts walking in.
As you do, you see a hulking figure behind it, kind of staring down at you, with kind of like the not so intelligent eyes, but definitely the eyes of somebody who is determined and clearly the physique of somebody that could easily pick you up and throw you without any effort. Hey, are you allowed
Oh, big
here?
guy.
The
I
the
don't
being
know.
just kind of stares down at you. The goblins. Go ahead.
I am allowed here.
Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. Ooh, great. Rolling these twos.
The what appears to be a bouncer. Hard to tell exactly what race, but it is humanoid and has somewhat sallow skin, very large and wide, and probably still possibly has to stoop to get under that door. And just like kind of looking down towards the group of you. Do you have a password? And the goblins just kind of look and say something in goblin, and the bouncer just kind of looks at them, looks at you guys, points a rather beefy finger at looks like my Discord bounced. I think my internet is still up though. I need to see if I get a response from them though. Well, it's still my stream still appears to be live, but nobody has responded to me on Roll20. It's just odd. I'm going to try to restart Discord, see if that helps. Come on, Discord. Come back, Discord. Okay, it seems to be connecting, or at least loading of some kind. Let's see if it actually fully loads. Ah, good. Somebody's actually responding to me on Roll20. Woo! Okay, it looks like Discord is definitely having a problem tonight. Oh, this is fun. Issues connecting, sending messages, joining voice, etc. We're continuing to investigate this issue. Oh, that's what that's saying. Alrighty. Well then. information. La 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 la. Discord. I wish Rules 20's voice thing was reliable, but last time we tried logging into that when Discord was having issues. Well, half the party couldn't talk to each other, so yeah. Of course, that being said, that was when people were in multiple countries, and that could have been part of it. And we're just about to get into the fun part of the evening with an interesting bar/gambling establishment. And an ogre bouncer. Nice and tall ogre, just kind of staring down at them. But of course, their new little goblin friends. Well. Everything is very quiet with that Discord. And people are not answering me on Roll20 either. Great. looks like we're calling it. Sorry this episode was so short, all.